ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಆಭಾರ್ ಅಭಿನಂದನ್ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಗುಡ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಗುಡ್ ಈವ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಗುಡ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ನೂನ್ ಕೇಮ್ ಶೋ ನೌಶೀನ್ ತಮನ್ನಾ ರಾಧಿಕಾ ಶಿವಂ ವೈಷ್ಣವಿ all my loved ones, how are you people? How are you people? Yes, Manjunath, Pooja, Lakshmi, all fine? Okay. So without much ado, let me start and today 17 years over for the Twin Tower attack on America, one of the black days in the history of global civilization. When we talk about, very particularly, it's not only for America, even it is for India too, because terrorist does not have any caste, any creed. They only think of disaster, sadistic pleasure, right? Shivam, Pooja, good. When I am with you people, as I always say, I am very fine. So today we are talking about the second part of morphology of flowering plants, that is, we have discussed about root, talking about stem and leaf. So what all things we have done, we have talked about habit, habitat and all. Jyotsna, good evening. Roots, we have talked about modification of roots, and before going ahead, today what we are going to do is a stem, modification of a stem and leaf, right? None of you tell about how you people do your exams, man. We people give you a test and all, something, how you people do it. Are you, all of you, Ismarnika, good evening, Jyotsna, good evening, all of you are writing your test? Please don't take those tests so lightly. Lot of sweat and blood goes into it. A lot of hard work goes into it. Please take it sincerely. I will never use the word seriously, because for me serious things are found in hospitals. Indrajit, namaskara. Now before that, what the question that most of you have made it wrong, stilt roots are reported in. Always I said, stilt roots are the roots that arise from the lower node of the stem, and when I say from the lower stem of the so do remember lower node of the stem and enter the soil to provide extra support, and they behave as the ropes of a tent. Such roots are called as stilt or brace roots. Example is pandanus. I think that day, kevada. I told you about root pockets also for the same thing. Okay, we will look into Tamanna, don't worry. Your problem we will look into. Okay, don't worry. That's what I wanted. Until I ask, you will don't answer me. So answer for this question is kevada, that is pandanus. Now going ahead, today we are talking about the second part of it. No problem, Nikita, it's not late, no problem. Ayush, good evening. So when we talk about a plant, when we talk about angiospermic or a gymnospermic plant, we exclusively take into root system and shoot system. Today we are talking about the shoot system. Homogeneous, consists of stem, branches, leaves and flowers. Today we are talking about stem and leaves, and we talked about vegetative and reproductive. So today we are talking about this part, right? So Parvez, good evening. So what exactly we are talking with reference to stem is support leaves and branches, transport water, solutes between roots, and do remember it transport water, it does not absorb water. Please have a point and have a note for that. Stem in some plants are photosynthetic, that is photosynthetic stem, we will come back to it. Storage may store material necessary for life, example water, starch, sugar, and reserve food material in case of plants is starch. Always remember, reserve food material. In some plants, stem have become adapted for specialized functions, as I will tell you, phylloclad, cladode, when stem is modified into a leaf-like structure. So all that I will tell you. Aishwarya, namaskar bacha, namaskar. May God bless you. So, if you see the structure with the, before to that, we have told you node, internodes is the characteristic feature of a stem. Any stem will have nodes and internodes, do remember. If that's the difference between roots and the stem is. Roots do not have nodes and internodes, whereas stem have nodes and internodes. This is a classical difference. And if you see here, please look into the things that we have read during our prior to intermediate classes in 8th, 9th standard, and there mistake happens ki sir we don't know what is axillary bud and what is terminal bud. As the name itself says, terminal, which is found at the end. Axillary means in the axil. Suppose a main leaf is coming from here, this is the main trunk. At this point if something comes, that is called as axillary bud. So this is axillary bud. This is axillary bud. Now, this point is node, this point is node, this is called as internode. This is called as leaf blade, also called as leaf lamina. The stalk of a leaf is called as petiole. And near the leaf you will find something that is called as stipule. These all are defense structure. Video is not clearly looking. Why? Shivam, you redo the connection because nobody is reporting this. I think it's at your end only. Just look into. No problem. You restart it, nothing. Don't scratch it. Then you can see there are the pores or the openings called as lenticel, which is responsible for removal of water, transpiration. At the end you can see this is called as terminal bud. When terminal bud is removed, it leaves a mark. That mark is called as scar. So this is a node, this is a node, this distance is called as internode. So terminal bud is at the tip, axillary bud in the axil. Axil means from where an axis arises. If something, suppose this black pen you can see now, this is an axillary bud. This is the main trunk, this is the leaf, right? So here you can see terminal bud, node, internode, node, this is axillary bud, and leaf, this is the mark left, that is the leaf scar. And if vasculature is broken, that is called as bundle scar, vascular bundle. Lenticels, opening, leaf scar, bundle scar. So if you see this is the lateral bud, this is the enlarged view of this structure. This is the bundle scar. If you see in bundle, you can see things are arranged in a ring-like structure, right? Now, and after 1 year of the growth, you can see based on this, I will tell you in detail when I will discuss with you anatomy of it. Just I wanted to make you to understand what is terminal bud and axillary bud. I have taken this. So, the question hardly they will ask from there, but the question will be asked from here very specifically. That is modifications of the stem. Most of us, this confusion we have. Sir, turmeric is what? Sir, potato is what? Sir, onion is what? Sir, shunti is what? Ginger. Leaf scar means anything when you remove a leaf. This is the axis. from here if you remove a leaf, after that you will see a mark is left. This mark is called as a scar. आपको चोट लगती है, चोट लगने के बाद जो दाग बचता है उसको स्कार कहते हैं. आयुष, लीफ इज रिमूव्ड, वहां पर एक दाग रह जाता है. दैट मार्क इज कॉल्ड एज स्कार, SCAR. Right? So if you see this, and always remember, anything found below the soil is not root. If there are nodes and internodes, that's what I was telling. If you see ginger, you will see this band-like structure. These bands are called as nodes. In between two nodes is called internode. When nodes and Noshin onion is a modified scalp-like structure. It is not an onion, that green color, spring onion, I understood, but onion is a modified stem. I will come back to it. That is what a bulb is. Twine, potato tuber, rhizome, ginger, stolon, chrysanthemum. So these stems are modified into three types. One which is below the soil, that is underground. One which is half, neither completely inside nor completely outside, that is subaerial. And last but not the least, which is completely in the air, that is aerial. Underground modification of the stem is rhizome. Example is ginger and turmeric. Most of the people ask this question in the match the following. Yeah, Tamanna, I will come back to it next class when I will do inflorescence. I will discuss with you in detail Uniparous, cymose, biparous, cymose, racemose, umbel, catkin. I will discuss in detail. Tamanna, what is the question, Jyotsna? Vegetative structure for this means? I did not get your question. Ginger, turmeric, this rhizome is a modified stem. And do remember, rhizome is like this. Sir, if this rhizome is vertical, this is called as stalk then. When it is lying like this, it is rhizome. Volubulate twining means when it is twining with its own surface. Volube, my own self. If I take this neck and around this itself I do it, that is called as volubulate twining. If I take my hand and roll myself across my body, that is called as volubulate twining. Lakshmi, for you also video is not clear. I think Shubham got it clear. You also redo it yourself, it will be clear. Ginger, turmeric, that is haldi, bulb, onion and garlic. And when I say bulb, there are two type of bulb. One is called as tunicated bulb, one is called as non-tunicated. Tunica means when you keep removing, for example, garlic. You have one structure fully like this. This is tunicated. When it is non-tunicated, they multiply by rhizome itself. Rhizome itself is a vegetative structure. Jyotsna. Rhizome, Saptarishi. Rhizome is this structure, bacha. This is rhizome. When it is lying like this, underground structure with nodes and internodes. Adrak mein dekha hai na apne, band will be there, band like structures. They are called as nodes. इनके बीच में होता है इंटरनोड, इसीलिए ये स्टेम है, इसीलिए ये स्टेम है. So tunicated and non-tunicated. Tunicated means अगर individual आप निकाल लेते हो, whereas in onion you have to remove the entire peel. Okay, I'll give you 1-2 questions, something interesting here, right? when we eat onion, we get a bad smell. Can you tell me because of what? I know it is because of sulfur, you will answer me. Which is that compound? Which is that compound? Which is that compound that does that business? Sulfur allyl sulfide. Yeah, in micropropagation we use axillary or terminal buds, but here when a stem itself is directly, we don't have to use anything as a bud. Directly you take it rhizome and put it, it will grow. Axillary bud and all we use not here. When we talk about tulsi and all, there we do it. Here you don't need. Directly rhizome will. Rhizome, take it, sprinkle some water, put it near your window. After some days you see it will start proliferating by itself. Yeah, Saptarishi, very good. Sulfur allyl cysteine sulfide is sacs. This is found in case of garlic, lasun mein. Whereas saas, breath, it is sulfur allyl sulfide that gives you bad breath. Very good, Radhika. Very good. This bad breath is because of sass. Garlic has anti-cancer property because of sulfur allyl cysteine sulfide. Yeah, organic disulfides. Yes, you can say this. Perfect answer, Jyotsna. Diplomatic answer. Now, from here, see, potato has tuber. Now the question is, this out of interest I want to listen from you people. See, when you see onion and garlic, upper layer you don't have to use a knife. You just remove it, sippe or the peel, when you remove it, it is somewhat crunchy, kurkura hota hai. Easily you can, it has a shining texture, usme chamak hoti hai. So that shining texture one, or the outer peel of onion or garlic, which you can easily remove it, it has a shining texture. That is because of which acid? Or simple question, which acid is found in the outer layer of onion and garlic? Which acid is found in outer layer of onion and garlic? Yes. Because once I write, then people will write organic sulfides or sulfur allyl sulfides, allylic sulfates. Yes. It is catechuic acid. It is catechuic acid. CATECHUIC, catechuic acid. Saptarishi, I will come back, but it is still not over. I will tell you, you will come to know. After the class, if you don't understand, I will answer this question, Saptarishi. Difference between phylloclade and phyllodes. Subaerial, that is runners, offset, suckers. I am not going into detail of it. Directly they will ask you the examples of it. Runners, offset, suckers. What happens is, oxal is doob grass. That is cynodone. Cynodone is the scientific name of doob grass. They run, this is the doob grass. Offset, suckers, half inside the soil, half above the soil. Pistia, lamina. Aerial modifications, very important. Stem tendrils. When a stem is modified into a tendril, you might have seen in most of the cucurbitaceae members, or in very simple language, all those vegetables which people don't eat, gourd, bitter gourd, ridge gourd, ash gourd, bottle gourd, in sambar and all which you keep it outside, all those vegetables, if you see them, beans, you will see these structures, these are called as tendrils. Watermelon, cucumber, they are stem tendrils. All the citrus fruits, to prevent it from pathogen, they are called as thorns. Thorns are again modified stem here. Cladode, cladode is one or two internode long. One internode, very precisely, one internode long. Asparagus, now it is very commonly used as a medicinal as well as for the food as a edible component. Phylloclad, see here it's very simple way to remember. Clad means stem, phyllo means leaf. When stem is modified into a leaf like structure, Saptarishi, here your question goes. When a stem is modified into a flat leaf like structure, so they don't have leaf now. They don't have leaf now. Like in Opuntia, Euphorbia, Cactus. This is what you see is not a leaf, this is the stem. That leaf is turned into a small thorn like structures. Yeah, sulfonic acid is present in onion. That's the reason it is said you should not chop onion and keep it for longer duration and eat it. You should chop the onion and use it immediately. You should not keep the chopped onions because the sulfonic acid undergoes oxidation and it might cause many metabolic disorders. Shivam, Nagfani, yes, Opuntia. I thought what you are writing, I could not understand. Nagfani, Nagfani, okay. These computers and these mobiles have made shortcuts so badly. You know, I'll tell you one thing here. No, all the tendrils are not axial in nature. No. For example, the tendril that is found in Gloriosa, no. The tendril that is found in money plant, it is not. The tendril that is found in Bida, that is pan leaves, none of them are axial. Bulbule or agave, yes Shubham, bulbule of agave is also aerial modification. Even bulbule, good, very good here. When you say bulbule, it is also in case of agave as well as bulbule is also found in I forgot the name now. It is not in the tip of my tongue. From where anti-fertility pills are made. So bulbules are not only in case of agave, even it is found in the plants which make anti-fertility pills. And anti-fertility pills are, I'll let you know, don't worry. Shubham, I'll answer this. Anti-fertility pills are also obtained from very interesting, this, what is agave and, I'll come back to you. So you can see here cactus, that's what I was telling. This is the classical example. Somebody was asking, okay sir, this is phylloclad. Bamboo. So this is kohlrabi, okay, nolkhol, okay, this is kohlrabi. Don't write kolavari, okay, this is kohlrabi. Do remember this. And these are all salsas which are used in European nations and all. As I told you, this is asparagus. You see, this is one internode long. That's it. The story starts from here, closes here. That is one internode long. This is how asparagus looks like. Yeah, Shubham, it is used in Zimbabwe too. You can see this is one internode long. This is the member of Liliaceae. As somebody was asking, so tell in detail. Rhizomes, horizontal stem that grows below the ground with adventitious roots. Example of these plants that can produce rhizomes are irises, ferns and grasses. You can see here. This is iris rhizome. This is the old root. This is the lateral buds. Leaves comes, growing shoot, new root. This is how is iris. In the gardens and all, very commonly it is used. Stolon. Stolons also like runners. Example in strawberry or airplane plants. Horizontal stem, if you see here, that grows above the ground with long internodes. You can see here, there is such a long internodes that can produce stolons or strawberry. Classical example, very commonly they ask you. Tuber, that is potato. These eyes, what you see on the potato, like this, these eyes are only called as nodes. Tuber, accumulation of food at the tip of underground stolons. The eyes of a potato are nodes of a starch laden stem. The eyes of the potato are the nodes of starch laden stem. And do remember here, sometimes you will see potato at a particular area turns green. That is because of a chemical compound released called as solanine. Bulb, as I told you, garlic and onions, onion, tulip, lily. Large bud with a small stem at the lower end surrounded by numerous fleshy leaves, adventitious root at the base. Individual is called as bulbulets. These are the scales. Tunica. Inside is a flower bud, very small. This is the basal plate. Right? Same thing is applicable in case of garlic also. That individual is called as tunica. So it is called as tunicated bulb. People are getting it. You people are getting it. Yes. Solanine does not have any function because underground, when sunlight falls onto that open area, it turns that starch, it breaks down the starch. So it becomes a solanine, and solanine is not good for health. Function of solanine is nothing. Solanine function is nothing. Corm, Arbi, what you call it as in crocus, gladiolus, colocasia, alocasia. Crocus is called as vegetable gold. It's called as vegetable gold. Belong to family Iridaceae. This question was asked in AIMS. Iridaceae, crocus, that is saffron. Kesar, what you call it as crocus sativus. Crocus, saffron. Edible part is dry, stigma and style. So you can see a papery covering on this. Notes are there. New corm. This is the old corm. This is the axillary bud, how it comes out. Amorphophallus, perfectly. जिमीकंद what he called as. छोटे वालों कहते हैं अरबी और घुइयां, अरबी, also called as tobu. Thorns, Honeylocust, black locust, modified leaf stipules, modified stem. You can see these structures. So you should always remember, all thorns are not because of stipules, or all stipules does not turn into thorns, right? Somebody was asking tendrils. Grape wine, you see these are the tendrils which twine around. Twinging stem, some climbing structures, twinging petioles, and this is tendril. When the leaf or the stem tip turns into a wired structure, they are called as tendrils. Here it is from stipule it is coming, this is stipular tendril. You see twining stem, and here you see twining petiole. This is the leaf, this is called as petiole, and when this petiole turns into a tendrilar structure, it is called as petiole tendril, right? So you can see twining petiole. All of them are in case of suckers, Shubham, there is oblique flow or oblique move is there, that is in case of suckers. Do remember. Whereas in case of all adventitious roots or fibrous roots, the roots main mother root is not known, that is fibrous roots. Whereas in case of suckers, there is usually either they move like this, but in case of suckers, they move in an oblique manner. They go slant way. They do not follow a straight path. And that is the reason, the example when you talk about suckers is chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum. Very good, Aishwarya. Thorns are coming from the modified stem, whereas prickles are endogenous in origin, whereas thorns are exogenous in origin. Thorns you can pluck it, prickles you cannot prick it, they are coming from inside, so it's very tough for us to remove the prickles. Thorns you can remove from the plants. Getting it? That's the reason when you get a rose, it's very tough. That's why when you purchase a flower, they remove it by a metallic structure, because they are removing the prickles. Prickles are examples of what, bacha? Giving you examples, na beta. Thorns I told you stem thorns, prickles in case of rose, bougainvillea. Good, I am happy people are at least asking. Coming to the second part of the story, that is leaves. Okay, Shivam, then banyan, that is prop roots. The thread like structures are prop roots which are hanging down. I hope you are asking that only to me. In banyan tree, ficus, bengalensis, these are the structures which hang down are the prop roots. In my first class I told you, first class means last class of it, I told you about that. Yes Tamanna, thank you. Yeah, function is the same. For thorns, just for the defense. Just for the defense. So when we talk about leaves, do remember they have a single blade on one petiole. This is the petiole. This is the single blade. Compound leaf have multiple leaflet on one petiole. This is one petiole. This is one blade, one blade, one blade, one blade, one blade, one blade, one blade. This is called as compound leaves. Simple way to understand it. Right? Now, So if you see, the central structure is called as midrib, which starts from the petiole. This is called as blade, also called as leaf lamina, and the structure which attaches to the main stem is petiole. Petiole is the connectivity of a leaf to the stem. This petiole again, if it is winged petiole, this is the main leaf. If this petiole is winged, like you can see in case of citrus fruits, winged petiole. Sometimes this petiole is swollen, is bulged petiole, as in case of Elstonia. Right? This is called as leaf tip or leaf apex. Leaf is a lateral flattened structure of a plant. In most of the plants it is green in color because of the presence of chlorophyll, maximum photosynthesis. Lakshmi, not always. Stipule is a bud-like structure, always does not grows into leaf. Sometimes into leaf, sometimes into tendril. It depends. Like in case of oxalis, the stipule turns into tendril, so called as a stipular tendril. Sometimes stipule turns into thorns, that is called as stipular thorns. So there are different functions, not always into leaf-like structure. Each leaf basically consists of three parts: lamina, petiole and leaf base. Right? I'll explain you one by one. And if you see a leaf, this is the petiole. This petiole is connected to somewhere. Wait, I have colored it, so it's very tough for you to understand it. You can see this is lamina or this is the lamina or the leaf blade. This is the leaf base, and here only you can see stipule is there, and here only one bud arises. And this is the axis which connects to the main stem. And if you see here, central, Tamanna, in cactus it is neither thorn nor prickles, they are modified leaves. Leaves get modified into thorn-like structures because stem is flattened into a leaf. That's what we did in the name of phyloclad, and this leaf modifies into thorns-like structure. So it is neither thorn nor prickle. Nematophores only grow in saline water. Shubham. If you see this, here it is a network-like structure. Here if you see, this is called as parallel venation. Okay, do remember how veins are present. This is a network-like structure. This is called as reticulate venation. Parallel venation is a characteristic feature of monocots. Reticulate venation is a characteristic feature of dicots. But as I said, parallel venation is a characteristic feature of monocots. Shubham, I'll answer this question. Why nematophores grow only in saline conditions? Because the saline conditions, because their morphology is like that. They have to survive under saline conditions. In salt conditions, turgor pressure becomes very high. When I will teach you plant physiology, I will tell you in detail. Turgor pressure becomes very high, it's very tough for them to breathe in and breathe out. Right? Parallel venation is characteristic feature of monocot, but there is an example, that is eryngium. If you see eryngium, in case of eryngium, This is dicot. So do remember, parallel venation is found in monocots, but there is a dicot in which parallel venation is found, that is eryngium. Same thing is here. Reticulate venation is found in dicot, means there is a monocot called Smilex in which reticulate venation is found. Do remember, Smilex is a monocot. Banana is a parallel venation, Shivam. Banana is a monocot, Jyotsna, it is not dicot. So as I said, here veins let make a network, that is in dicot. Here veins run parallel to each other on lamina, example monocot. But here is an exception, here is an exception. So as it is in dicot, the exception is Smilex. Here cladophyllum or eryngium, this is an exception. There are two types of leaves, simple leaves as we said, compound leaves. The lamina is single or undivided, whereas lamina is fully broken into clear segments of leaflet, like in case of neem. If you see here in hibiscus, this is, but if I do this, this is called as compound leaf, this is called as simple leaf. Okay, eryngium, fine, sorry, eryngium is dicot, Jyotsna. Right? Right? Phyllotaxy. Phyllo means leaves, taxi means arrangement. How leaves are arranged? Either you can see many leaves will start at one origin only. Sometimes it is like this only. So these are three types. When they are opposite to each other, it is called as opposite. When they are found at one axis only, it is called as whorled. When they are present one, that is called as alternate. Single leaf at a node, sunflower, mustard, opposite, two leaves at a node, tulsi. Nerium, very important, please, whorled, do remember. Lakshmi, which is your question, Lakshmi? Which is your question? What is your question, Lakshmi, which I have not answered? I think I am answering all the questions. Modification of leaves. Leaves are modified into perform functions other than photosynthesis. They are tendrils. Somebody asked me for climbing in case of matar, batani. Okay, there are two different types, beta. One is palmate, one is pinnate. You don't have to go into detail of it, bacha. Pinna means it is like ear pinna. Palm means like this, how you see in case of papaya or in case of castor, that is palmate. Pinnate, what you see around yourself in case of neem and all. No, leaf has to have any modifications as far as my little knowledge is concerned, bacha. I don't think so. Without petiole, any leaf can directly grow. Maybe leaf might have suppressed in the evolution, but petiole has to be there, Lakshmi. Otherwise, technically it will never. Yeah, in Bulbule it is a compound leaf, Shivam. Spines for defense, as I told you in Opuntia, that is cactus. Storage, fleshy leaves of onion. Somebody was asking onion, that is called as a scalp. And this is the problem of your previous contest question. sacrum officinarum, that is sugarcane, is octaploid with total number of 80 chromosomes. What number of chromosomes in each set? I think I have discussed this question earlier. Answer is 10. When this is bipinnate, the leaf that you put onto the shiv, it has 3, that is tripinnate, trifla, threefold, tripart. If you see Belpatra is tripinnate. When it is only 2, that is bipinnate, Shubham. The answer for this is 10, and many people have answered, and the person who has won the atom session last class is Tamanna Sharma. Big round of applause, Tamanna. Good job. Rachis is the common axis. In a compound leaf, what you call it as a midrib. In case of compound leaf, this is the rachis on which leaves are arranged. This is the central axis, is called as rachis. This is the leaf. Petiole is, Jyotsna sir, video is not coming suddenly. My video is on. All others are facing problem. I don't think so. Okay, so answer is 10. Octaploid it was. So 80 divided by 8. Answer is 10, octaploid. And today's question, it's very simple question. I hope all of you will answer me. And for this you have only 15 seconds. Largest shoot bud is. Largest shoot bud is. If I get the answer, I'll be the most happiest person. Yes. Largest shoot bud is. Yes. Try. I'm waiting for your answers. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes. So I hope people have tried their best to answer. And please, I request most of you, some of you, few of you, upgrade yourself, right? So when I say this, upgrade yourself for a very simple reason, because until you do your complete question papers and all, that will not satisfy you. Ki sir, I have learnt it and it is half baked. So, and if you do it, I will be more happy. In that way, I am just asking you, right? So, and I have asked this question. I think I forgot it is whose question. Okay, I will answer this. Anti-fertility pill. For which I told you Bulbule, and I told you before I finish the class I will answer. It is Diascorea. Bulbule is found also in agave also, as well as in case of Diascorea. Diascorea releases a compound called as diasgenin. Do remember this. This is a very simple question. No, Tamanna, simple does not mean compound. I like it. Very simple question. I asked largest, and if I tell you, very commonly we eat that. Okay. So coming to an end of the class, What all we have done is stem, modification of the stem and leaf, and thank you for joining. Please upgrade yourself. It's my only request to all of you. Please, so that you will get a completeness of it, right? So see you tomorrow. Till then, take care of your good health. May God bless you all. Shubh Ratri, Shabba Khair, Jai Hind.